welcome to another episode of Queendom Gems, where we are developing our hearts, minds, and the come up. I am yours truly, Queen Kima, here to drop some more gems on you. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to know what a gem means, I call you gems because you're growing every moment. And also, I am dropping gems that I have gathered from growing every moment along my own journey. So without further ado, I usually talk a lot. I'm gonna get right into it today. Today's episode is about the importance of marketing materials. So marketing materials are not cheap. I know that you can go on Fiverr and different things like that, but let me just tell you that the quality of a lot of work that comes off of Fiverr is hit or miss. I'm not saying to not use it. I'm saying that one thing you definitely need to do is educate yourself at least on the basics of graphic design so that you can know the value of what you are paying for. You need to understand pixels and how pixels work and how they translate across PNG type files, JPG type files, SVG type files. These are all things you can Google and research that are really simple concepts to grasp that really make a difference in what you're paying for. So if you're spending money on a logo, if you're not getting a vector file or an SVG file that's a high quality, high pixel rate file that's going to be able to translate across platforms, you can render it into a PNG or JPG format, but you need a SVG, you need a vector file for your logo. You want to think long term for your design, and you don't want to progress in your business and one day have to redesign your logo because it's low quality or it looks pixelated or it gets fuzzy when you put it on a banner or anything like that. So that's the very first thing that I want to cover. But the main purpose of this video is what marketing materials should you be investing in? Now, if you are good at networking and you have the type of network that is resourceful, not resourceful, also resourceful, but resourceful meaning abundant in resources, and you also have things that you are able to offer someone who does graphic design, and you're able to maybe barter a lower rate or maybe do an exchange of services in order to get the marketing materials that you need, great. But for those of you who are unable to do that, or you don't know how to do that, or you're uncomfortable doing that, you need to know what to prioritize your financial purposes on, right? So what assets are most valuable for you? Well, it's going to depend on what type of industry you are in. If you are in the service industry, then you need to be investing in marketing materials that show reviews on what you're doing, whether it's testimonials on what you're doing, actual photographs on what you're doing, high quality photographs. If you have a certain level of iPhone, then you can pull it off, but I still encourage people to steer away from phone pictures because even as Apple progresses, they've started to have their own format for their photos that is not compatible even with MacBook computers, but we're not going to get into that because I'm not anti-Apple or anything like that. I'm pro whatever is going to make you money. So that's just something to consider. If you're in a product-based business, then you need to be spending money on product shoots, right? There's different types of resources that I'll put down in the comments below on things you can use in order to kind of like edit your picture and make it look like your product is in a product box. But a product box is something that you should definitely invest in if you have a product-heavy business. A inexpensive DSLR camera is something you should definitely invest in if you have a product-heavy business. That way you're not consistently, dishing out money, all of your, working capital to paying a photographer in order to get your product shots done. You can just get a DSLR camera, get like a $200 little Sony camera, and get a product box and, do some research on lighting and different things like that and play around with the lighting, return stuff if it doesn't work, don't break it, be honest, but play around with that so that you can have the appropriate quality for the audience that you are wanting to convey. Now, I will admittedly say that I am a recovering perfectionist, so do take my advice with a grain of salt. I do not despise humble beginnings. So if all you have is what you have, then please, by all means, start with what you have. But when we talk about prioritization and what we're going to do with the money we're making, if you're a business owner, the money that you're making does not need to first go back into your pockets. That's not what today's video is about, but you need what's called working capital. You need money to put back into your business so that you can make more money. And a lot of people who come out of poverty or who are doing their business out of a last-ditch effort to get out of a financial bind, make poor business decisions because you're paying yourself before you pay your business. So it's definitely important to be able to have people to lean on, have people like myself that you can pick my brain and ask questions, have financial advisors, business advisors, strategic advisors, and consultants to be able to kind of direct you on just best practices or recommendations. At the end of the day, it definitely is your business, and so you're going to have to do what you feel is best, but making a priority to have working capital to put back into your business is very, very, very important. So now let's talk about business cards. I cannot tell y'all how many business cards I find on the ground and windowsills laying around, dirty, bent up, or whatever, okay? So it's very important that you understand where you are geographically, because I think, you know, actual regional demographic plays a huge role in how business cards are actually valued, and also industry and age demographics play a big part of the significance of actual business cards. Unpopular opinion: do not build your whole brand on Instagram. I cannot tell you how much it grinds my gears when I meet a really awesome business owner and the only way that I can connect with them is on social media, because I guarantee you 100,000% it does not matter how much I really love that person's brand, you are going to get lost in a sea of people on Instagram. I have to remember everything about you in order to go back and follow up with you, unless you follow up with me, and 9 times out of 10 y'all don't. 10 times out of 10 really y'all don't. You know, and y'all, people hit me up later and they're like, oh yeah, I met you at this event, we follow each other on Instagram. I'm like, baby, I don't remember. But when you give me a physical material to hold on to, I hold on to that stuff for a long time. Even if I don't like remember necessarily, I will look at it and I'm like cleaning out something. I'm like, oh, I forgot about this. I need to hit that person up. So those are the pros and cons of business cards, right? Your business card might end up on the floor if you give it to the wrong person. And something that I encourage people to do is to actually ask. So I got a background in sales, baby. You have not because you ask not. I will boldly ask somebody respectfully if they're going to actually use the card or not. So I'll be like, hey, I'll jokingly say like, hey, now this is money. I'm handing you money right now. Are you going to keep it? Are you going to use it? You know, and people joke, they're like, oh, you know what? And they'll tell you, honestly, I'm probably not going to use the card. And that's really honestly a sales tool. That's really a sales tool or a model when networking, to see how valuable you really have come across to that particular person that you're talking to. And you can compile that data and those experiences to be able to see your approach when networking or when reaching out to people. Another good way to have business cards is to give your business cards to friends who promote for you, but also make sure they're educated on not just leaving your cards here or there, not just, you know, passing out to people who don't care about it, because it is money. You need to see your physical business cards like money, because they cost money and it's not free for you to produce, and you don't want to feel like you're hemorrhaging money on marketing materials that aren't bringing you a return, aka sales, aka leads, customers, what have you. All right, so now we're going to talk about flyers. Digital flyers are really, really awesome, but printed flyers can also be a really great way, sometimes better than business cards. One, it's formatted different than a business card, right? So if I give you a little 3x3 inch square cutout flyer with a QR code on it, the likelihood of you keeping that is a lot higher than a business card. So something that we do here at our business here at Connected, we will do that and people hold on to it. People literally hold on to old ones. They'll come back and show it to me later, or they'll say, is this the event that's happening right now? Or is this, I'm like, no, that's an old one. But you see, that's the difference. So people hold on to it. We use digital cards here. So we use the tap cards. I'll talk about that in a minute. But if you have the type of business that's community-based or event-based, curating actual materials like physical flyer materials with QR codes that make it an easy direct link for people to schedule with you is really, really advantageous. There's a young lady who does like organization or something like that. See, I can't even remember her name or anything, but I know that I'm going to use her service at some point, and I hold on to her flyer. Where her business card went, I can't tell you, but I still have her little flyer. I know exactly where it is in my stuff. I know what she looks like. I know the colors to her branding. I have all of that brand recognition. So this video is not about branding. We'll have a, I like to keep my videos short, so I don't want to give you guys information overload. So we'll talk about the quality of those cards and how to actually make sure that those marketing materials that you're getting printed out are effective in another video. But today I want to just give you some guidance and direction on what to prioritize first when spending your money. Number one is going to be a quality logo. Number two is going to be research to understand what the demographic of your customer base is looking for. Do they want physical business cards, or do they want marketing materials? Do they want emails? You need to be able to track that, log that information, and respond accordingly. So the last thing I'm going to cover is tap cards. I should have brought mine. I'm gonna pause the video. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and show you. You have your tap card? Okay, so I actually don't have my tap card with me, which is very ironic, but I'm in my office, so I don't really need it in my office, but it would be better for me to have it, but I leave it in my car. I leave it in my car so that way when I need it, networking or anything like that, I got my whole body language changed. I'm like, but anyway, I leave it in my car. That way, if I need to have it, I have it, because I'm notorious for leaving them. So that is a benefit to physical cards, is you can have little sections of them stashed different places. That way you always have them on deck. But the beauty of the tap card is it gives variety. So if you're somebody like me who does a lot of different types of things and you don't want to take people to your Instagram, because I don't really use Instagram like that. I have a link tree in my Instagram bio, but the links that are in my link tree are specific to that particular brand. So I do, consulting, and I have a production company. I'm a part of the connected business. And so depending on which one of those things I'm trying to connect people to, it's going to be a different funnel, which we'll talk about sales funnel in another video. But in my tap card, I can tell them specifically what link to click. So it'll tap, and generally I just have people save my contacts. So you can airdrop contacts to people, but not everybody has an iPhone. The little tap card, it also has a QR code on it. So if somebody's phone is older and the tap doesn't work, they can just scan it like a QR code and be able to upload their contact. But it holds a variety of different types of marketing assets in it, which is extremely advantageous for being a diverse and versatile networker. So those are my tips and tools for prioritization of marketing materials and how to decide what marketing material works for you. So let me know in the comments what marketing tools you prefer to use, what works for you, what hasn't worked for you, and what industry you're in, because I'm really looking forward to getting some feedback from you guys and learning what works for you. And also tell me if this has been helpful for you. Also, let me know in the comments what other topics you would like to see me cover. So talk to you guys soon. Peace.